Krishna Chaitanya,
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Prabhu Nityananda,
Advaita Gadadara,
Shri Advaita Gadadhara,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda,
Chaitanya,
Jai Shri Krishna.
Krishna Chaitanya.
So today we are going to see Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhuji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om
Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskrityam
Narayana
Narayana
Namaskrityam
Namaskrityam.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram
Naram
Chaiva
Narottamam.
Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim
Devim
Saraswatim
Vyasam.
Vyasam
Tato Jayamudirayet
Tato
Tato
Jayam Udiraye
Jayamudiraye.
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Nashtaprayeshu
Bhadreshu.
Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata
Bhagavate
Sevaya
Bhagavati Ruttama Sloke
Bhagavati Rottama
Shloke.
Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti
Bhaktir
Bhavati
Bhavati
Naishtiki.
Naishtike.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 29. Are you able to see the screen share?
Yes.
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta
Sutta
Srutva Bhagavata Proktam
Shrutvā Bhagavata Proktam
Falguna Paraviraha
Falgunah Paraviraha
Paraviraha.
Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya
Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya
Brahmam Brahmastaram Sandade
Brahmam
Brahmam
Brahmastar
Brahmasam Sandade.
Sandade
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Vacha.
Srutva Bhagavata Proktam
Shrutvā Bhagavata Proktam
Falguna Paraviraha
Falgunah
Paraviraha.
Paraviraha
Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya
Sprishtva
Svapastam
Pastam
Parikramya.
Parikramya
Brahmam Brahmastaram Sandade.
Brahmam
Brahmastam
Brahmasam
Sandade.
Sandade.
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta
Sutta
Vacha.
Vacha
Srutva Bhagavata Proktam
Shrutvā
Shrutvā
Bhagavata
Bhagavata
Proktam
Proktam
Falguna Paraviraha
Falguna
Falguna
Paraviraha.
Paraviraha
Sprishtva Pastam Parikramya
Sprishtva Pastam
Svapastam Parikramya.
Parikramya
Brahmam Brahmastram Sandade.
Brahma
Brahmam
Brahmastam
Brahmasam
Sandade.
Sandade.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Charna Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Synonyms. Suta, Suta Goswami.
Suta,
Suta
Suta
Goswami.
Goswami.
Uvacha said.
Uvacha said.
Srutva after hearing.
Shutva after hearing.
Hearing.
Bhagavata by the personality of Godhead.
Bhagavat
Bhagavata
by
by
the
the personality
personality
of
of
God.
God.
Proktam, what was said.
Proktam, what was said.
Falguna, another name of Sri Arjuna.
Falguna, another name of Sri Arjuna.
Paraviraha, the killer of the opposing warrior.
Paraviraha, the
Paraviraha,
killer of the
killer
opposing
of the
warrior.
opposite warrior.
Prishtva, after touching.
Sprishva
Sprishva,
after touching.
after touching.
Apa, water.
Apa, water.
Water.
Tam, him.
Tam,
Tam,
him.
him.
Parikramya, circumambulating.
Parikramya, circumambulating.
Circumambulating.
Brahmam, the Supreme Lord.
Brahman, the Supreme Lord.
Brahmastram, the supreme weapon.
Brahmastram,
The supreme weapon.
Sandade acted on.
Sandade acted on.
Translation. Please repeat after me. Sri Suta Goswami said.
Sri Suta Goswami said.
Sri Suta Goswami said.
Hearing this from the personality of Godhead.
Hearing this from the personality of God.
Arjuna touched water for purification.
Arjuna touched water for purification.
And after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna.
And after
circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna,
he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one.
He cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one.
Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 30. Samhatyanyonyam ubayos.
Samhatyanyonayam ubhayo.
Tejasi sharasamvrite.
Tejasi sarasamvrite.
Avritya rodasi kamta.
Avritya rodasi kamta.
Vavrudhate arkavahnivat.
Vavrudhate arkavahnivat.
Samhatyanyonyam ubayos.
Samhatyanyonayam ubhayo.
Tejasi sharasamvrite.
Tejasi sarasamvrite.
Avritya rodasi kamcha.
Avritya rodasi kamta.
Vavrudhate arkavahnivat.
Vavrudhate arkavahnivat.
Samhatyanyonyam ubayos.
Samhatyanyonyam ubhayos.
Tejasi sharasamvrite.
Tejasi sarasamvrite.
Avritya rodasi kamcha.
Avritya rodasi kamcha.
Vivrudhater kavahnivat.
Vrittadhater kavanivat.
Synonyms. Samhatya by combination of.
Samhatya by combination of.
Anyonyam, one another.
Anyonyam, one another.
Upayo, of both.
Upayo, of both.
Tejasi, the glass.
Tejasi, the glass.
Shara, weapons.
Sara, weapon.
Samvrite, covering.
Samvrite, covering.
Avritya, covering.
Vavritya, covering.
Rodasi, the complete firmament.
Rodasi, the complete firmament.
Kham cha, outer space also.
Kamcha, outer space also.
Vavrudhate, increasing.
Vavridhate, increasing.
Arka, the sun globe.
Arka, the sun globe.
Vahnivat, like fire.
Vahanivat, like fire.
Fire.
Translation, please repeat after me. When the rays of the two Brahmastras combined,
When the rays of the two Brahmastras combined,
a great circle of fire,
a great circle of fire,
like the disk of the sun,
like the disk of the sun,
covered all outer space
covered all outer space,
and the whole firmament of planets.
the whole firmament of planets.
Purport.
The heat created by the flash of a Brahmastra resembles the fire exhibited in the sun globe at the time of cosmic annihilation. The radiation of atomic energy is very insignificant in comparison to the heat produced by a Brahmastra. The atomic bomb explosion can at most blow up one globe, but the heat produced by the Brahmastra can destroy the whole cosmic situation. The comparison is therefore made to the heat at the time of annihilation.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Jnanata Virandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langaite Girimet Kripa Tamaham Mande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Jaya Pathaka Swamin Iti Namini Namo Acharya Padaya Nithaya Kripa Pradhayini Gaura Kata Thamadhaya Nagara Grama Tarine Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadhe Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hariharaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopal Govindaram Srimad Sudanam Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangun Langai Taigiri Vatkirpatamam Mande Sri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So, if you see few verses starting from say 28, O Arjuna, only another Brahmastra can counteract this weapon. Since you are expert in the military science, subdue this weapon's glare with the power of your own weapon. So Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And then Sri Suta Goswami said, hearing this from the personality of Godhead, Arjuna touched water for purification, and after circumambulating Lord Sri Krishna, he cast his Brahmastra weapon to counteract the other one. So counteraction, this is military science. You have Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, and military science also. One of the part of the Vedas, Dhanurveda, that is called. So the Dhanurveda, how to utilize Dhanu. Dhanu means bow and arrows. Similarly, Ayurveda we have. That is medical science, how to protect the Ayu, because the body is perishable. So in the Vedic knowledge, everything is there to guide the human society. And in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, we have seen the first canto, first chapter, third verse, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Idam. So Nigama means Veda. And that Kalpataru, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam. So it is compared with the tree. What kind of tree? Desire tree, Kalpataru. So Nigama Kalpataro. Kalpataro means that is only in the spiritual world available, not in the material world. It's available only in the spiritual world. And the spiritual world is described in the Brahma Samhita also. Kalpataru, Chintamani Kalpataru, Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpataru. So that is only available in the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. The houses, the palaces in the land, the spiritual land, Goloka Vrindavana, that's fully made of Chintamani. Chintamani and Kalpataru. Chintamani Prakara Sadmashu Kalpataru. So that is Surabir Apipalayantam, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambram Sedyamanam, Govindamadi Bursham Tamaham Bhajami. So Kalpataru means whatever you want, you can get from that tree, because everything is spiritual. For example, he can give you, just like you are spiritual being, I am also spiritual being. If I say, bring me a glass of water, you will bring. Give me some fruit, you will give me. Bring this, you will bring. Because you are spirit soul, you can supply me whatever I want. This is the spiritual idea. Not that I wanted a glass of water, you can supply me a glass of water only. No. If I want other things also, you can supply me. That is one crude example. You can understand what is the meaning of Kalpataru. So when there is no material obstacles, then the spiritual world can be utilized for any purpose. Any purpose. But here we have covered with the conditioned material body. So in Bhagavad Gita, we see Bhumi Raponalo Vayu Kammano Buddhirevacha. So this is material energy, and Krishna says Aprayam Pratsumam. So Apara itastu viddhime prakritim para. There is another superior energy. What is that superior energy? That is not dead. That is the living entity. Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedham Dharyate Jagat. So without spiritual energy, this whole universe is useless. Yesterday in Chaitanya Charitamrita class, Guru Maharaj, Lord Chaitanya book class, Guru Maharaj was telling, so what will happen if everybody is delivered from this universe? The universe become vacant. So the universe is actually useless without spiritual energy. Anywhere you go, and everywhere there will be living entity. So if the whole universe is liberated, then what will happen? It will become vacant. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was telling, and Haridas Thakur was very beautifully replaying, and that conversation was going on like that. No, the Lord will release other, though all the conscious living entities, moving and non-moving, will definitely be liberated. But then there are other living entities from the low consciousness, they will take place. He quoted an example that when Ayodhya was vacated, completely all the living entities were liberated along with Lord Ramachandra, then there were new living entities have arrived. So like that. So in the material world, they only see everything is material. In Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly said that this whole cosmic manifestation is combination of material energy and spiritual energy. And Veda means knowledge. So we need to understand from that perspective, and we have to utilize the Veda Purana. The Veda Purana is here in, it is not for Indian only. It is meant for the whole universe. But it is available in India. That is India's special position. Indian civilization is not very much interested with the four-wheeled civilization. India is interested in spiritual cultivation. So that is the reason why they go out and preach like Srila Prabhupada. And he can create personalities like Guru Maharaj who come into the West and come to India and preach in turn. So that is going on. Now, we cannot decry violence. That is also required. Krishna was speaking in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam means signs of God or signs of Krishna. And this is spoken in the battle of Kurukshetra. So you cannot condemn violence. That is not possible. But there is no violence in the spiritual world. That is a fact. It is not that violence is unavoidable everywhere. It is unavoidable in the material world only. It is avoidable. Why to avoid? It's already avoided. There is no violence in spiritual world. Violence is only in the material world. That is why Krishna decided to fight, because it is meant for material world, the violence. Janmadhyasya yataha. Anything that we have got experience, everything is there in God. That is why he is God. God minus something. There is nothing minus. Akila Rasamrita Sindhu. Raso Vaisa. So he is the reservoir of all rasa, humor or mellow. So this is also a mellow. Sometimes cruel men, they take pleasure by killing. I've seen it. And one hotel man, he was cutting the throat of one chicken, half cut. And it was throbbing, jumping. His child was crying because he could not see such horrible scene. And the man, the hotel man, he was laughing and pacifying the child. Why you crying? Just see how he is throbbing, how he is jumping. So one subject matter, rasa, is different. Humor is different. And raso vaisa, he is the sar of all the rasas. Adi rasa. And in the material world, there are so many rasa. Adi rasa. The sex life is called Adi rasa. There is Bibhatsa rasa, Hasya rasa, Karuna rasa, Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakya rasa, Shanta rasa, and so many rasas. Around 12 rasas we have seen in Nectar of Devotion. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he has described this Adi from Adi rasa. Adi rasa means the conjugal love. That is called Adi rasa. Where from this Adi rasa comes? The attraction between man and woman. That is a fact. The attraction is there in everywhere, either human society or animal society or bird society or bee society. The attraction is there. So where from this is coming? Krishna is all attractive. So every energy, every prakriti, living entity is prakriti, is attracted to Krishna actually. Krishna is the origin of Adi Rasa, Janma Deskayataha. From there, the Adi Rasa is generated. That is Radha and Krishna. That is Radha and Krishna. So everything is there. So here, Krishna is ordering that this is Brahmastra. He could not understand that intolerable temperature, heat, and Arjuna was asking where from the heat is coming. So Krishna is telling him, this is due to Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama. This rascal does not know how to counteract it. So he doesn't know. So in those times, the military science has developed so much that you have released one kind of arrow. If I am expert, then I can release another arrow which will counteract your arrow. For example, you release a fiery arrow, I will release watery arrow. In this way. So Ashwatthama released that Brahmastra. Now Krishna advised Arjuna that you release this Samharastra. How to counteract. Unnadham Astrajnan. Unnadham. You know better than him how to counteract. So here we saw Astra Tejasa. By another Brahmastra, different kind of Brahmastras are there. So through mantra, in this way he can release. Now then we can see on the verse 30 and 31. 31 also we will see. When the rays of the two Brahmastras combined, a great circle of fire, like the disk of the sun, covered all outer space and the whole firmament of planets. All the population of the three worlds was scorched by the combined heat of the weapons. Everyone was reminded of the Samvartaka fire, which takes place at the time of annihilation. So that is your text 31. So let's see that also along with this. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 7, verse 31. Drishtva stratejas tutayos. Trilokhan pradahan mahat.
Trilokan pradahan mahat.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Samvartakamam satra.
Samvartakam amam sata.
Drishtva stratejas tutayos. Trilokhan pradaham mahat.
Trilokan pradahan mahat.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Samvartakam amam sata.
Samvartakam amam sata.
Drishtva stratejas tutayos. Trilokhan pradahan mahat.
Trilokan pradahan mahat.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Dahyamana praja sarva.
Samvartakam amam sata.
Samvartakam amam sata.
Drishtva, thus seeing.
The seeing.
Astra, weapon.
Astra,
Teja, heat.
Teja, heat.
Two, but.
Two, but.
Tayo, of both.
Tayo, of
Three.
three.
Lokan, planets.
Lokan, planets.
Pradahat, blazing.
Pradahat, blazing.
Mahat, severely.
Mahat, severely.
Dahyamana, burning.
Dahyamana, burning.
Praja, population.
Praja, population.
Sarva, all over.
Sarva, all over.
Samvartakam, the name of the fire which devastated during the annihilation of the universe.
Samvartakam, the name of the fire which devastates during the annihilation of the universe.
Amam Sata began to think.
Amam Sata began to think.
Translation, please repeat after me. All the population of the three worlds was scorched by the combined heat of the weapons.
All the population of the three worlds were scorched by the combined heat of the weapons.
Everyone was reminded of the Samvartaka fire.
Everyone was reminded of the Samvartaka fire,
which takes place at the time of annihilation.
Which takes place at the time of annihilation.
The three worlds are the upper, lower, and intermediate planets of the universe. Although the Brahmastra was released on this earth, the heat produced by the combination of both weapons covered all the universe, and all the populations of all the different planets began to feel the heat excessively and compared it to that of the Samvartaka fire. No planet, therefore, is without living beings, as less intelligent materialistic men think.
Very beautiful. So the heat increased, radiation heat increased. One weapon was released by Ashwatthama, another by Arjuna to counteract. And the heat was so terrible that Dahyamana Praja Sarva. all the inhabitants of different planets. So this is a Prabhupada writes that no planet is without living beings. So it is very clearly mentioned in this verse. You can see Dristvastra Tejas Tutayos Trilokan Pradhanam Dahyamana Praja Sarva. So the living entities, population in all over all the other planets, inhabitants of different planets, they felt the great heat produced by two Brahmastras. And Samvartakam Amamshatha. Samvartakam Amamshatha. The Samvartaka fire, Samvartaka fire. That is explained in the Shastra that in the Kali Yuga, or at the last, there will be Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, there will be no rainfall. So everything will dry. Not this Kali Yuga, but at the end of the universal life, there will be great fire all over the universe at that last Chatur, that 1000 Chatur Yuga, no, that last Kali Yuga. That is called a Samvartaka. Everything will be ablaze. This fire will take place on account of the heat increased of the sun, actually. Because the present temperature of the sun will be increased at least 12 times. Because there are Dwadasa Aditya. All the 12 Aditya simultaneously provide. So naturally there will be fire. Sometimes there is forest fire we have experienced. Similarly, the fire will take place and everything will be burnt into ashes. Then there will be rain. After heat, you have got experience also. When the atmosphere is too hot, then the rain falls. Same process. So when everything will be burnt into ashes, there will be rain. Torrents of rain. And it is said, just like the trunk of the elephant, the rainfall will be like that. So everything will be covered within the water. That is called annihilation. Pralaya prayodi chale drutvan. Then there will be pralaya. So by the grace of the Lord, the Vedas will be saved. Keshava Dhruta, Meena Sarira, Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So he comes in the Meena form. And then he protects the Vedas. So this is the process going on. Bhutva Praliyate in Bhagavad Gita, we have seen. This material world in this way, sometimes it is manifested, sometimes it is not manifested. The energy is there, but the material world means the energy sometimes manifested, sometimes not manifested. So we are in this material world. We are changing our body one after another after some years. This is also according to our different forms of life. In one small insect, it may live for a few minutes, some of them for a few hours, some of them for a few days, and some of them for a few months, and some of them for a few years. And this yearly, we live, we human beings, we live for 100 years. And the demigods, they live for 10,000s of years. But whatever you live, either as insect or as demigod, there is no rescue from the process of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dhoshanu Darshanam in Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter we learned. You cannot escape. Either you become a small insect and live for a few minutes, or you become as powerful as Lord Brahma. You have to die. Ultimately, there is no escape. Brahma has got the greatest amount of years to live. We have calculation in Bhagavad Gita, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Maharyad Brahmano Vidu. Sahasra Yuga in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 we see. One Yuga means 43 lakhs of years multiplied by 1,000. That is the one daytime duration of Brahma. Just see. Aharyad means morning to evening. Aharyad. Morning to evening. Morning to evening, that is Sahasra Yuga, 1,000 times of 43 lakhs of years. Similarly, night you have. When day and night becomes one day. Similarly, 1 month and then 12 months, a year, and such 100 years is the lifetime of Brahma. So there is difference between our 100 years and his 100 years. Similarly, ants also it has its own 100 years. And my 100 years are different. The modern science admits that everything is relative world. according to the body, according to the time, relative world, not absolute. The absolute world is different, where there is no relativity. Everyone is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is called oneness, simultaneous oneness, achintya beda abeda tattva. Not that one has become as powerful as the Supreme Lord, as good as Supreme Lord. No, maybe as powerful also if the Lord wants, but still they are individual. They are not amalgamation. There is no question of amalgamation. That's a wrong theory by the Mayavadis. So he says in Bhagavad Gita, it's very clearly told, in the past we were all individuals. It is not that in the past we did not exist, and it is not that in the future we will not exist. We shall exist. Nityo shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. When the body is annihilated, I am not annihilated. So we are eternal. We existed in the past, we are existing now, and we will continue to exist in the future as individual. And Krishna says, you, me, and all these soldiers and kings, they are all individual. And they existed as individual in the past. And we are existing now as individuals. And we shall continue to exist as individuals. So there are three phases of time: the past, the present, and the future. There is no question of being amalgamated at any time. They remain always individuals in all the three times. And this is in the material world. Either material world or spiritual world, the individuality remains as it is. It never ceases to exist. Nitya yukta upasate, in Bhagavad Gita we see. We have got temporary life here. So we cannot be nitya yukta because this life will be finished. And the next life, we don't know what kind of life we shall live. It may be human form of life, or it may be dog's form of life. You have to change this body. Tata dehantara prapti. Krishna, he doesn't say that a man after death becomes a man. No, there is no guarantee. He says tata dehantara prapti. There will be change of body. And so far the body is concerned, there are 8,400,000 species, different bodies are available. Any one of them you have to accept. There is no guarantee what you will be forced into. Tata dehantara prapti. I as spirit soul, I am individual, existing. I shall continue to exist as individual in this material world, either as human being or as an animal or as demigod or a tree, plant, fish, aquatic, so many. Jalaja navalakshani stavara lakshavim sati, Padma Purana says. So this is going on. This is material world. And if you go to spiritual world, yad gatva nanivartante taddama parvamama. The difference, what is the difference between the spiritual world and the material world? The difference is that if you go to the spiritual world, then you will not return again in this material world. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naitima maiti. So Arjuna, Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. So spiritual life means punarjanma naiti. Punarjanma means this material world. Bhutva praliyate. That is material. One janma, then death, again janma, again death. And between the death and birth, or birth and death, there is disease, and old age is also that. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadi, dukkha, doshanudarshana. This is our real problem. So the modern scientists, they don't even know what is real problem. They are thinking advancement. So here we see Trilokan Pradhan Mahat. Dahyamana praja sarva. Dahyamana praja sarva. Praja means living entities, population, people. Prajayate, one who takes his birth. So in these three words, there are three words here, Trilokan. So Trilokan Pradhan Mahat. Trilokan Pradhan Mahat. Dahyamana praja sarva. So three words means this upper, middle, and lower planetary system. Prabhupada says in the purport. This is the three world. Upper, lower, and intermediate planets of the universe. That is Trilokan. Triloka. So everywhere there is praja. Everywhere there is praja. There is living entities. Otherwise, how it is said Trilokan? Huh? So it's a foolish theory that there is no life in other planets. That's a rascaldom theory. It has no meaning. Trilokan. We have got many evidences. I don't know why these rascal scientists say that there is no life in other planets. On what basis are they saying that? Why? The other planet is also made of the Panchabhuta only. Prithvi, Ap, Tejas, Vayu, Akasha. They are not different. Maybe something is very prominent, like earth is very prominent, or somewhere sky is very prominent, somewhere fire is very prominent in sun planet. So fire is also one of the 5 elements only, right? That doesn't mean there is no life. There must be life. Otherwise, how Krishna spoken with the sun god, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanaham Abhyayam. I have spoken this to sun god Vivaswan many million years of time ago, the same Bhagavad Gita. And today I am speaking here on the earth planet. Just see. Nainam Dahanti Pavaka, the living entity is not burnt by the fire. That is also specified. So why the living entity cannot exist in sun glow? It is not dried up. It is not moistened. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. So why there will be no life in the sun glow? There must be, because na dahati pavaka, fire cannot burn the living being. So there are germs in the fire also, Agnipa. So we are being misled by the so-called scientist. That is not perfect knowledge. Perfect knowledge is in the Vedas. Therefore, it is advised, Tat Vijnanartam Gurumeva Abhigachet. You must accept the bona fide spiritual master to get the right knowledge, even in the material. Because Veda means you have to approach Acharya, not that you read a book and you become a doctor, engineer, like that you become a scientist. No, you have to approach a spiritual master for the Veda. He knows everything. Unless he is not follower of the Veda, Sruti, he is a rascal. What is the use of going there then? What is the use? What you will get by approaching a so-called rascal guru, one who does not know Sruti. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami, he has forbidden, and Sanatana Goswami has forbidden. Avaishnava mukhodghirnam putam harikathamritam. He says, Tad vijnartam sa gurumeva abhigachet. You have to approach such a guru. And who is that guru? Vaishnava. Not any ordinary person. Therefore, anyone who is not a Vaishnava, you should not approach. That is false knowledge. Knowledge has no value. Sanatana Goswami very strictly forbidden. Avaishnava mukhodghirnam putham harikatamritam sarvanam naiva kartavyam. Don't hear from the Avaishnava this harikatha. You will be spoiled. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile Hoya Sarvanasha. If you hear from Mayavadi impersonalist, then your spiritual progress is doomed, finished. No more spiritual progress. Mayavadi Bhashya Sunile. Few days before in the Chaitanya class also, Guru Maharaj was telling. It is not that once you are expert, you can think that, okay, now I can talk to Mayavadi because I became a pure Vaishnava. Now I will not be spoiled. No, you should never listen to Mayavadi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very strictly told. So that is the position. And Mayavadi wants to make him impersonal. Therefore, they are offenders. So what is the use of approaching a guru who is offender to Krishna? Tanaham dishtha kurun kishpam yajastram eva yonishu. Bhagavad Gita says, those who are envious, Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha. And the Mayavadi is always trying to make him a handless, legless, headless, earless, and this less and that less and less. They want to reduce the God to zero. What is remaining? Only zero. Why don't you say zero? No, they are very careful. These Sunyavadis, no, the Buddhists, they clearly say there is no God. Zero. Sunyavadi. That is called Sunya. Sunya means zero. So we can understand their position. And the Mayavadi, no, they are so dangerous that they will not say that God is zero also. They will not say. They will say, yes, there is God, but he is handless, legless, eyeless, thisless, thatless, everything less. Then what is the meaning? That is zero only, right? So we can understand. But why you say indirectly zero? Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Vedanamaniya Buddha Hayata Nashtika. They are called Nashtika, means one who does not believe in the statement of the Vedas. He is Nashtika, atheist. Atheist, just like in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is a person. This is Vedic literature. Krishna is a person. Aham, he says in Bhagavad Gita, Aham. Always he says, Aham Adir Hidevanam. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto, Madhyaji Mam Namashkuru, Sarvadharman Parityacha Mam Ekam Sarva. He is a person. Everywhere he is indicating himself. So the Mayavadi will always try to explain in the impersonal way. Therefore, they are offenders. Krishna personally present. Why Krishna comes? So that the misunderstanding whether the absolute truth God is a person or imperson, to mitigate this trouble, he is coming here. He comes as a person. He presents himself. Here is I am person. Why do you make me imperson? He is person. Yada yada hi dharmasya glaner bhavati. Why you are taking so much trouble? Simply you are taking unnecessary trouble. Klesha adhikatara. And if you take to bhakti, direct devotional service, and you cannot understand God or Krishna by any other means except bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati. He is telling in Bhagavad Gita again. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvata. If you want to know absolute truth, God, then you have to take to bhakti. And what does that mean? Bhakti. Bhakti means there must be Bhagavan. Otherwise, what is the meaning of bhakti? Bhakti means render devotional service unto Krishna. So if the master is not there, then where is the question of bhakti? Where is the question of service? Then it is work and karma. So it's all bogus. Bhakti means three things: the bhakta, the Bhagavan, and the service. These three things. Then only bhakti is manifested. They are all individual. Bhagavan is individual, Bhakta is individual, and the reciprocation of dealings between the two individuals, that is bhakti. That is bhakti. Anya vilasita sunyam, jnana karmadi anavritam, anukulyena Krishna anusilanam, bhakti uttama. Uttama bhakti is well defined by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That is first class bhakti. Bhakti means there is activity. Anukulyena, favorable activity. Krishna anusilanam, to satisfy Krishna. Anusilanam means culture. The culture means there is activity. Bhakti does not mean zero. Nirvana, no. Make things material, may material activity zero. That hint is given by Shankaracharya. Lord Buddha said that everything is zero. And Shankaracharya gave further improvement that it is not zero. Brahman is fact. Brahma Satyam, not zero. Jagan Mithya, this world is Mithya, zero. Not Brahman. Both are false only. Because those who understood this zero philosophy, they are rascals, atheists. They cannot understand anymore. Therefore, further improvement was given by Shankara because he was preaching. The whole world became Buddhist and he wanted to establish Vedic principle. He wants to make them accept Vedas. So they have already made zero. So how Sripad Shankaracharya can say, no, it is not zero. It is a fact. They will not understand. So he said in a different way that zero is this material world, Brahma Satyam, but Brahman is fact. So like that, how the fact is working. That is also given by the Vaishnava Acharyas, especially Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Srimad Dharma Projita Kaitavo Atra Paramo. So Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, these are all cheating. Kaitava, religion, cheating. All cheating, up to moksha, it is all cheating. Aspiration to become one with the Supreme, that is moksha, that is Kaitava Dharma, cheating religion. That is the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam and the end of Bhagavad Gita also. He says, Sarva Dharman Parityachya, give up all this cheating religion. And here Dharma Projita Kaitava Atra, give up without accepting any of this cheating religion. When you understand that the so-called monism, to become one with the Supreme, it is cheating, It is not fact, because you cannot remain in the zero, right? That is not possible, losing the form. We are part and parcel of God. God is Anandamaya. Anandamaya Abhyasat. By nature, God is Anandamaya. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. So if you are part and parcel of God, how you can be Niranandamaya? Not possible, right? So that quality is there, Ananda. But in the eternity, in the impersonal Brahman, there is no Ananda, because there are three things: Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means the eternity, that is impersonal Brahman. Chit means knowledge, that is a Paramatma feature. Ananda is blissfulness, where Krishna is there. So in Sat, Krishna is missing. In Chit, Krishna is missing. Then what is the use of this jnana and these particular yogas? The Ananda is required. That is Krishna. That is Krishna. Otherwise, even the Sat is Nirananda only. The impersonal Brahman is also Nirananda. The material world is anyway Nirananda. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. So it is impossible to remain alone. And for want of Ananda, you will again fall down in the material world from the impersonal Brahman. The impersonalists who think that I have become one with the Supreme, that eternity, that is Sat only, Sat Chit Ananda, only Sat. Simply by becoming Sat, eternal, you don't get Ananda. That is not possible. Because where from Ananda come? Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Prathava Vivabis. Tabirya eva nija rupataya kalapi goloka eva nivasatya kilatma bhuto govindamadi varsham tamaham bhajami. So you have to go to the Ananda Bhaya. Yadgatvan nivatante tektva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. We have to approach in that way. Otherwise, we remain in the material world. This will be the result. Dahyamana praja sarva. One after another, dahyamana. You will simply burn into ashes. So therefore, the Veda says, Asatima Sadgama. So don't remain here. Go to Krishna and enjoy with him. That is the purpose. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization? Please share with us.
Hare Krishna, sir.
Hare Krishna, yes, Deepshika, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, one question, ma'am. Sir told, like, in Bhagavad Gita also it's mentioned, like, once we go to spiritual world, we will not come back to this material place again. Once we are there, we will never take birth again in this material world. So, ma'am, like, once we go to spiritual world, can we, like, do we remember all the births which we have taken so far? What all struggling we have, like so much like miseries we have gone through? Like, will we be remembering all the things which, like, all the births, all the struggle which we have taken in this material world? In the spiritual world, once we are there, then do we remember all these things?
Very good question. Very good question. The thing is, in spiritual world, we'll always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, and we'll be busy in our eternal occupational duty, which is serving Krishna in bliss. We'll be very, very happy. And in material world only, we have this bad. For example, you had a bad dream. It will be, we are, how to explain this? Just give me 2 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am.
Haribol. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So, very good question. Spiritual world is not like material world. This we should understand very clearly. And we are actually Satchidananda. We are eternal. So we are time immemorial. We are living. We are living entity. We are living time immemorial, means infinity time we are living. Past also infinity. Future also infinity. Okay, and this falling of a spirit soul from its constitutional position is like less than a fraction of a moment in eternal time. Time is eternal. Time is forever. Okay, in that the entire falling down of a living entity in the material world is a spark of a second, less than a second, microsecond, millisecond, nanosecond, in the eternity of our existence as a spirit soul. So mostly we are Krishna conscious. But a particular point of time, we think, if it is without Krishna, how it will be? Like that, we think in spiritual world, within that 1 second or less than a second, we fall down, we take millions of lifetimes in many, many universes. Whatever we are going through right now is like less than a fraction of a second in the eternal time, in the eternity of time. Okay, for us it is like yuga. So that is why the gopis are telling yugayitam nimishena chakshusha pravrishayitam sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahim. So we have all the bad dreams. There are details and details of bad dreams. That is millions and millions of lifetime. Whatever struggles, all the struggles we are undergoing, we are doing this, we are doing, all that is like many lifetimes you have undergone. But one thing will remain there, that absence of Krishna is frustration. That knowledge will be permanently there. And if we want to remember and preach using that, of course we will remember. The reason is, but we know that 100% it is illusion. It's a dream, bad dream. Like morning you wake up from a bad dream. So lifelong are you remembering that one bad dream, that 1 minute a tiger came to eat you. The tiger comes to eat you in the dream. It's a struggle, right? It's a struggle. When you wake up, you remember it. And did the tiger really eat you? When you wake up, there is no tiger only. Hey, come on. I was falling down from top of a mountain. Oh my God, top of the mountain, I'm falling. It'll be peace, like nothing. Then we wake up. Then we think there's no mountain. I'm not falling. That fear which we had, that's not there, because we come to wake up to reality. When we wake up to reality, all the bad dreams are a joke. And moreover, they're illusion. They don't exist. Real me is a Krishna conscious living entity. I'm in Goloka. I'm living in reality. So in reality, throughout will be in present. We won't live in past and we won't live in future. No planning for the future, planning for the future, or thinking about the past and happy and crying. All these things are in the material world only. But when you go to spiritual world, there is you are eternally situated in present tense. Here in material world, there is no present. That is why we say that the time and place doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Means whatever time and place you are, which is forcing you, past, present, and future, we are telling, but the present, it doesn't exist for us. By the time I say this second, when I started in this second T, and the second may D hoga na, last may D. By the time I complete D, that this second has already passed. So I never live in the present tense in the material world. I remember the past, I think about the future. These are all the two things. I plan for the future, I try to execute. It won't happen as I thought, as I planned. And past, I'm remembering. I can't rewind and change it. Oh, I should have done like that. I should have spoken like that. We are having a very little presence. And that present time, very little moment, we use it in the service of Krishna. We are eternally living. Sun doesn't take away our life. So we should understand very clearly that in spiritual world, this is like a bad dream and it's illusion. So lifelong, do you remember that the tiger came to eat me? Tiger came to eat me in one of my dream, in one of my 365 days you're having in a year. For example, now you're example 25 years, 30 years you're there. Then 365 into 30. That many days you lived. Do you remember all the food you ate in this lifetime? Do you remember? In material world, there is forgetfulness. So you forgot. 365 days, we don't remember. But in spiritual world, we are full of knowledge. Full of knowledge. We are not full of illusion. We are full of knowledge. So we remember, we understand overall that this is Krishna and I am spirit soul. I forgot Krishna, and in that one forgotten moment, in my life, in my entire existence, it was like, oh my God, where and all I went, how many births I took, how many universes I went, and how many species I was there. Everything was suffering. Dukkale machashvadam. If somebody is talking about material world, you say, no, never go there. Because that knowledge is there within you. That understanding, of course, that remembrance is there within you. But we won't take it and chew it. We won't take it and chew it. That we won't do it. Because we are continuously engaged in blissful devotional service in spiritual world. Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasiddhati. Spiritual world is full of happiness. It will never give you dukkha. Material world is full of dukkha. If you remember, that means dukkha is coming. No, you become sad. You don't become sad, you become very happy. So for preaching purpose, of course, we can remember anything and we can tell. In one of my lifetimes, like Narada Muni, he got spiritual body. Krishna asked him to live with him, but he wanted to preach also. Krishna wanted him to preach because naturally that small boy had, but he is remembering his last life, how his mother was there, how all these things. Generally, we remember spiritual things in our life. The reason is spiritual is truth. All material is illusion. In the dream, the tiger can never eat you. In a mirror, you can never eat an apple. So whatever experiences you are undergoing here is not exactly happening to you. It is happening to your body, mind, intelligence. Whatever, it's either troubling your mind or it's troubling your body. You're neither your mind nor your body. Dono nahi hai. Kisi aur cheez ka kisi thing happened. Some other thing ko some other thing happened. Why should you remember? That's not you. So what is Jiva Swarupa is Krishna's Nitya Dasa. So if you have enjoyed Krishna consciousness in this lifetime, you will very nicely remember how Guru came, how you got initiated, how you chanted, how you danced in Rath Yatra. Anything related to Krishna and Guru or truth, that you will very nicely remember because it spontaneously will bring bliss. Vaikunta. Vaikunta means dukkha. Vai means suffering. So Vaikunta means there is no suffering. When you are liberated, you need not necessary to remember because you think you're the body. You're the body. That is why you're asking this question. You're thinking that you will go with the same body to spiritual world. No. You're actually spirit soul. You have totally forgotten your original identity. Maybe you're a Gopa or a Gopi. So when you go to spiritual world, that you need not remember. But when you come for preaching or something, maybe you have good experience that your preaching will be very good. People will really understand because they have undergone this experience. Prabhupada is explaining this is one of the purport. One of the purport, he is explaining how he was not a devotee and then he became a devotee. And this experience is helpful for him to explain the details about don't go to that place, it's a dirty place. That much very clear, full knowledge you will have. But usually we don't chew upon, I was a body. When I had a body, I had cat body. Then I had a body. Then I had a dog body. Then human body. In human body, I was a male. I was a female. I underwent this kind of trouble. We won't sit and chew it because we'll be so blissful and enjoying eternally that there won't be time to think about or regret or and we are not the body. Whatever we are is an illusion. If you see anything without Krishna, that is illusion. If you had a life without Krishna, that is illusion. Illusion means it doesn't exist, like a shadow. Do you see your shadow any day? Do you remember what kind of shadows you had? Whether you had the shadow behind you or before you. Do you chew it upon in your life anytime? Have you remembered it and have you sat about it and thought about it or remembered my shadow was like this, my shadow was like that, my shadow did this? Nothing. So same way, it's an illusion. You went into an illusion, you will wake up from the illusion to reality, like a dream. What a bad dream, yaar. I don't even want to remember it. This is what you will say the first thing. It's a bad dream, I don't want to remember it. The same way, we don't remember. But if it is for preaching purpose, it is not that we are totally ignorant. I don't even know what happened to me. Not that kind, because we are spirit soul is full of eternity, knowledge and bliss. So knowledge is full. It knows that the material world is dirty and we take various shapes and sizes and forms, vehicles, and we get inside it and we think we are that vehicle, and whatever the vehicle is undergoing accident, we are thinking it is happening to me only. But nothing is happening to us. Nobody can kill. In Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, Krishna is telling, it cannot be cut into pieces by knife or whatever, cannot be burnt, you cannot be cut into pieces, you cannot be wetted. You don't, anything which the matter undergoes is not you undergo. We undergo suffering, you're telling. Both the suffering and enjoyment, whatever you're doing without Krishna in this material world, is actually the is a feeling of the mind. But the mind belongs to material world. When you get liberated, you won't have this mind. You will have a beautiful spiritual body with a beautiful spiritual mind, full of prema for Krishna and Guru, full of prema for Krishna and Guru. And of course, many associates. There are millions and thousands of associates. If we are all chanting, we are all be together also in various forms. But individually, each one will be serving Krishna. There won't be any clashes. There won't be suffering. Prabhu said, no, there is no clashes. There's no war in spiritual world. Full harmony, very happily everybody. Of course, there are emotional wars to attract the attention of Krishna or whatever, but it will not be based on envy like what we see in this material world. Whatever feelings you are getting in this material world are all illusion. They are not our true feeling. Spirit soul is all good. The feelings of enviousness, emotions, all this we are getting, making mistakes, cheating propensity. All these are there only for the material body. In spiritual body, all these are not there. So it is an illusory life. Whatever we are living is illusory life, except that portion in which you started chanting Hare Krishna, you started going to Rath Yatra and dancing, you came to Mayapur and see the deities, and you are seeing Jagannath, all this associates, not because of your karma, but because of Guru's mercy, you're getting relationships, friendship. All these, by Guru's mercy, when you're getting, all those are true. Everything else is false, which you did before initiation or before becoming a devotee. All that is illusion. That why should you remember? It's an illusion only. Krishna is not present, means it's an illusion, like a shadow. We don't remember our shadow. We don't even turn back and see, where is my shadow here? Oh, today I don't have shadow. Where is the light? Like that, we are not conscious, right?
Yes.
It's an illusion. It doesn't exist. Maya Antakar. So we were in Antakar, but we will remember everything we faced when Krishna was there. Oh, I went to Navadvip Parikrama, I went this place and this past time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When we remember, that is truth. In that place, when we remember us, I did Arati, I decorated, I did this, that all are truth. All that will be reminding us a blissful memory because you did it, yes, a spirit soul. And whatever suffering you're undergoing, your mind is undergoing. Your mind, not you. Mind is suffering. Mind and body will get destroyed. You won't get destroyed. Body will destroy. So let the mind do some things. Mind will have happiness. Mind will have sufferings. Just that is not us. If you want, you can remember as an illusion for preaching purpose. But rather generally, you don't remember because there is no suffering in spiritual world, and anything related to suffering will not be part of you. You will have only another Kevala Ananda Kanda. Even you enter seriously in Krishna conscious movement and fully engage in Krishna consciousness, you will never have suffering. Then you'll be wondering, what is this? Am I living? The whole world sometimes will be suffering. And people will say, why always you're happy? Then we will think, yes, no, before I was not like this. Why am I always happy 24 hours? Like this. Even in material world, it's possible to be happy always. That happiness doesn't come from items of the material world. Happiness comes from within. When we start developing relationship with Krishna, Guru, Krishna, we start developing, it's a sweet feeling. And that will give so much satisfaction and happiness that nothing can snatch it away. It's not coming from external source, by chanting, by we are getting that happiness by Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. This is the reason for our bliss. That your brother always expresses, Deepu, always expresses, ma'am, once we come to Krishna consciousness, it's like, ma'am, I can't say, because he's experiencing it, how it was before and how it was after. In material world, we remember both. When we go to spiritual world, we don't even remember illusion.
Hmm.
We are so busy in happy bliss, 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 continuous bliss. No time to rewind and think like this, because we are eternally living, and whatever we are falling, looking like many, many, many thousands and millions yuga, 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 yuga. I'm living like that. Whatever we are thinking right now in many, many prapanchas, each of the prapancha is like a mustard seed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is describing to us Devadatta. Universes is like a many universes are like a bag of mustard seeds. Then, but we are from us, oh, from here to Calcutta you went, here to America you went, oh, he went to this other planetary system. Like that, it's a big for us. Same way, eternal time is there. Draw a big line, okay? Big line. And in that line, a small curve. Fall down and come up. So that is in our eternal existence. Our falling and coming up is like a fraction of a second. Spirit soul can never forget Krishna. And if it goes into illusion, fraction of a second. And that fraction of a second is like millions of yugas. We are facing an illusion. I'm born as this, I'm born as that. I'm living as this, I'm living as a cat, I'm living as Indra, I'm living as a female, I'm living as boy, girl. So many lifetimes. Same, puna charvita charvanana. Again, eating, mating, sleeping, different in various sizes, shapes, forms, various relationship, sometimes happy, sometimes sorrow, sometimes this, sometimes, because we want to enjoy the same rasa as Krishna, which is not possible actually. So we want a mother like Yashoda, but you will never get a mother like Yashoda at all. We want a father like Nanda, you won't get. We want wives like what Krishna is having. So we want, in this way, we want to become Krishna. That is an illusion that can never happen. And it's so suffering. When we try to do it, every spirit soul want to be enjoyer. And we are in the society of, I want to enjoy group. Only I want to enjoy group. So everybody will plan for their own enjoyment. They will manipulate others for their own enjoyment. This is this material world. So this is illusion. This is not true. So you have not tasted an apple. To remember, you should have tasted an apple to tell somebody how an apple tastes. But in the mirror, can you eat an apple? Reality, you eat an apple, you taste it. But in the mirror, you keep the apple in the mirror and try to bite it. Or in the mirror, you're seeing an apple in a plate and eat it in the mirror. Can you eat it? No. So Prabhupada said that thinking it is sugarcane, you're chewing a bamboo. The material world, everything is illusion. You can't have real enjoyment. When you start getting real enjoyment, you won't even remember the illusion. If you want, you can remember, that is different. Oh, in illusion like this, and all kind of illusion, that is different. But that's not your life. For example, if you watch a movie, that is not your life. Somebody else is playing, somebody else is happening. Same way, prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudatma karta aham iti manyate. We are thinking I am the doer. But actually in the material world, who is doing? Prakriti kriyamanani. The nature is automatically doing so many things. Our body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. Everything is matter. Nothing belongs to us. Everything belongs to external energy. We are borrowed. Even our mind is borrowed. And whatever undergoing, the Prakriti is doing. Prakriti kriyamanani. Prakriti is doing all the kriya activities. But Ahankara Vimudatma is thinking, the Muda Atma is thinking, I am doing, I am suffering, I am rich, I am poor, I am walking, I am eating, I am doing this. No, you can do only one duty, one thing the spirit soul can do. What is the dharma of the spirit soul? Very simple. Maintenance of the body is an automated process of the material world. But we don't have faith. So we have to really struggle hard. So, and we undergo karma. And actually, spirit soul has only one swadharma. What is that? Again and again. Jivera Surupahaya Nitya Krishnadas. Yes, Nitya Krishnadas. And that duty, Prabhupada said the typewriter should go cut in material world. And if you take the typewriter to spiritual world, also cut. So whether we are in material world or spiritual world, we should understand I am servant of Krishna. In material world, with whatever facility, we will be serving Krishna. When we go to spiritual world, there will be amazing facilities and unlimited service, unlimited friends, unlimited bliss, unlimited varieties. Every day, different leela, different things will keep on happening, and non-stop happiness, non-stop bliss. Why should you sit and remember? No time for that only. Sit and remember my sufferings. Sometimes we chew upon our wound. See, sometimes you have a burning in your hand, some wound in your hand. You like to give more pain to that, then you get some pleasure. Same way, when there is some diseased portion of our life, and it's a nightmare, it's a bad time, we should not sit and take it and chew it and chew it. Then sometime it is like time pass. So we should never do it. We should talk the present. Of course, we derive experience from that. Experience cannot be denied. Oh, I won't even talk the past. I won't remember. Not like that. The past gave an amazing experience that what the material world is, how the world will be suffering. If I don't take up Krishna consciousness, where I'll end up. All this knowledge, experience we are getting. Knowledge is not in terms of book knowledge. I'm telling about the experience which we are getting will really help us to understand. I'll never fall. Nobody will fall again back. Nobody, not remembering. By yourself, you won't do it. You will never fall again, only one time. This one time is yuga, millions of lifetimes. Is that okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Prabhu
Thank you so much.
is there?
Thank you very much. So, any other questions or realizations or comments? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So thank you for the association. Tomorrow we will see verse 32 and we'll wind up here. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Patita Pavan Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Bhagavat Satsang ki jai. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.